What's up, guys? This is Empire Hours. I'm your host, Cameron Cisneros, and this episode is different. I'm sitting down with the leaders of eXp Slavic Network, and we're talking about how cultural connection drives real business growth. Dean Drew immigrated from Ukraine as a child, and he went on to fund over $500 million in mortgages and now runs one of Baltimore's top producing teams in real estate. Came to the U.S. in 2004 with an entrepreneurial background in construction and transportation, and now he's helping the Slavic community understand how real estate builds generational wealth in America. Steven's family moved from Bulgaria to give their kids a better life. His parents worked tirelessly, earning degrees from UCLA, and now 15 years into real estate, Steven leads a successful team in Denver, Colorado. His father is a top producing realtor, and his mother is one of the #1 stagers across Colorado. Real estate has become the family business and the vehicle that drives the American dream. And together, these incredible leaders host a network that is providing something that most people miss. Serving your community isn't just about good ethics, it's smart business. The Slavic Network, it is a revenue driver. It's how eXp creates opportunity for entrepreneurs abroad while helping Slavic communities build wealth and sustainability. So if you ever wondered how cultural networks become the economic advantage and the revenue generating engine that drives growth forward, this is a conversation that is going to break down exactly how these incredible leaders do it. So guys, I'm super excited to have you today. Let's get into it.
Happy to be here.
Do
Let's
it.
go.
I want to start with the why for you guys, because you all have such incredible stories. So why does the Slavic Network exist? And what gap are you trying to fill that traditional real estate isn't currently addressing?
One of the biggest things that makes a real estate agent successful is being able to build rapport. And it's a lot easier to build rapport when you speak the same language and you understand and you come from the same place. So I feel like it allows clients who feel more comfortable with somebody who speaks their language, knowing that we came from the same place, and it just builds that rapport instantly. A lot of the time, we just see that people want to work with people where they're from. They do want to speak their native tongue because they're able to express themselves better in their native tongue. That is the biggest, aside from all the collaboration and all the other stuff. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, that the biggest gap that we fill for clients that we couldn't have otherwise done it with other brokerages.
Absolutely. Entrepreneurs abroad, we know that people do business with those that we know, like, and trust, and those that they see themselves in us. What you're doing in the Slavic Network isn't only just for the general members of the public, but you're also fostering that connection and that inclusivity and that culture within the agents in this space. So, Steven, do you have anything to add with that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, real estate nowadays is completely borderless. I mean, we can transact all over the world. I mean, we even just had our referral that we gave to a couple of people over in Europe, and these folks are from Colorado, and they said, "Hey, Steven, saw that your company's name, our team name is Legacy Properties International." And then we got 3 referrals just right there, handed off to our colleagues in another country. So for us, we need to be able to collaborate with people who actually we know can handle those kind of deals, because we are international. Every company nowadays can handle these kind of things. And, we have to be able to showcase that we are here to support each other, drive together, and grow together.
Agreed. Those are some really great points. You're establishing that trust with your community, right? And you're creating that alignment with them. And Gene, you had even touched on this even before. You prior to stepping into real estate, you had funded over $500 million in mortgages. Talking about alignment, what did that experience teach you about the Slavic community and how to approach ownership and wealth building differently than in other communities?
So the mindset and how we were brought up is different, right? So it's the business ownership culture or the business ownership mindset. Like, it's cool to be a business owner, maybe even cooler than to some than a doctor or a lawyer. And it's not like frowned upon. And it doesn't matter what business you own, from being a doctor to scooping poop.
Right.
It's like nobody cares as long as you own a business that's profitable. And I think that's different in other cultures because other cultures look down upon certain industries.
Yeah.
They say, Gene, Daddy, I want to be like you. And I was like, that's great. I want you to be a doctor or a lawyer.
Absolutely. I mean, there's definitely the different nuances and how cultures like view that trajectory, right? And so I'm really glad that you had touched on this, especially those difference in those lanes that you had mentioned. Alex, you had also talked about your focus in the Slavic community and focusing how real estate builds wealth in the long term, also creating sustainability in America. What are the biggest misconceptions or knowledge gaps that you're addressing?
So there are probably, I would call it, three main gaps. First, some immigrants just they think that buying a home is a finish line, but it's just the foundation for the future wealth. And so many of our people, we call it our people, they don't understand. They're living in the moment. For them, like sometimes when they sell in the house, they don't look at the 10-year or 20-year span. They look living in the moment. And our goal, being a financial advisor, as well at the same point when we're educating them. So many of my listing presentations like different from other agents. For first thing I'm telling all my clients, never sell a house. If you don't have to sell it, let's figure out how to buy a second house on the spot. Because in 20 years, and I work with many builders, and especially with listing presentations with them, they realize they're looking at the homes that they built 15 years ago, 20 years ago, Russian speaking builders. And they're like, I wish I never sold it. I'm like, you know what I'm talking? Let's build three and keep one. This is the strategy. So I'm educating clients too. And the other one is probably fear around leverage. In our culture, that is always viewed negatively. So strategic leverage in America is the main path to wealth.
You want to be able to take those strategic risks in order to build longevity and build real wealth. So that's an incredible point that you had touched on. What does cultural understanding change the way how you do business versus the agents who don't share that same background?
It's back to cultural. I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with generational. Only recently have I seen in the United States multiple generations under one roof, or it's rare that we see multiple generations under one roof. There is nothing rare in amongst our people to see multiple generations in under one roof. I remember growing up, my grandma lived with like her daughter and my cousins. Like so and there was not enough room, so they shared rooms. And it was still like generational. Here, people are not in the United States, not overall, but as a majority are not as family oriented and generational. We see that in other cultures, like we see that in Asian cultures a lot. We have multi-generation. Also, a cause for that, I believe, there is because everything's just so expensive, so they can't afford it otherwise. So they have to have multiple generations. And same thing happened back there, back in the motherland. I mean, that's why multiple generations lived under one roof, is because they couldn't afford it, not because they thought it was cool. And even though now we can't afford it, I still see maybe it's not under the same roof as much, but still more close together.
I would agree 100%. To combine what Alex and what Gene said, education is huge. And, yeah, I mean, I would say one of the hugest things that ring true is cash, cash and debt and credit cards, all this kind of stuff. And leverage is like, that's not something that, we learned growing up. It's a very, very bad thing to have debt. It's 100%. And, a lot of my clients buy cash. They only ever want to buy cash. And normally it's the parents and grandparents that want to buy properties always in cash. And so now for me, I'm educating them and their kids and their grandkids about, hey, I understand. However, let's have a quick beat and talk about the next 5 to 10 years, as Alexa mentioned, and let's actually position ourselves for that generational wealth and that compound interest that we're going to get. And for my clients, when I'm helping them buy properties, one of the very first things I do after they move in, about a month they're kind of settled in, is that, hey guys, you know what? How's the house going so far? Oh my gosh, these goals are great. Thank you so much. All right, fantastic, guys. Now we bought the house. Now we're talking about how to pay it off. They're like, what? We bought the house? Yeah, guys. Remember that we have to be future forward thinking about these kind of things, because you just know where we're going to be. So educational piece for that financial element is huge, and just educational things. It seems so common to do this kind of stuff. We're so involved in these higher level things with ourselves, our teams, our collectives, all this kind of stuff that we don't even think about, the average person that we're helping actually care, because I'm sure if the roles were reversed, you would want to learn these really important things about real estate, how to pay your house off more, how to get a good credit score, how to actually leverage your debt, like what Alex mentioned with his builders. Like, oh my gosh, I woulda, coulda, shoulda. So like, let's address those moments now in time, because we are in the driver's seat and we have the intelligence to be able to give these people what they're looking for. And, whatever they do with the information is theirs to do, of course. But we at least want them to know that we care and that they can come to us to ask us any kind of question, no matter how small it may be or how difficult of a conversation we have to have with them.
When you're educating them on building wealth and what it takes to pay off that equity and just those different nuances that you guys encounter that a lot of other real estate agents that aren't serving those communities typically don't face, what are some unique challenges that Slavic clients face in American real estate? You just talked about it. We talked about a little bit about credit issues, the reluctancy to want to take that out, the fixed mindset of that debt is bad, and these preset mindsets that have been passed on for generations. It could be language barriers, or it could even be immigration status as well.
Yeah.
What are you solving for those agents that most agents aren't equipped to handle?
So immigration status obviously is one that's a big ticket. There's you got to be familiar with visas, how long people can stay there, what they're allowed to do. As new laws pass, you or we as agents need to know if it hurts or helps our clients to be able to purchase property. For example, there were let's call it there were loopholes, for lack of a better word, where non-permanent resident aliens previously were able to purchase property. And what do I mean by purchase property? Anybody can purchase property. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen to buy property, but they were able to finance property. So there was ways where either through ITIN, where there's a tax identification number, or various other creative loopholes, whatever we want to call them, creative financing that we were able to do, there was a lot more opportunity for people to purchase property. As of, I believe, about a year ago, when the administration made a new change, it hurt a lot of non-US citizens to be able to purchase and get funding, where not only, and I work with people from all walks of life, and they either stop looking at properties or now they're just not able to. They want to, but they can't get a 3.5% down payment. They can't get 5% down payment. They can't get the traditional financing that U.S. citizen or permanent resident alien is allowed to get. But that's a whole different conversation for another time.
Yes, it's definitely these days you need to be like super creative. Would they change like what Jin just mentioned? You have to be very creative and offer solution to people who still want to be a homeowner. Then I wanted to add 5 cents on investment mindset, because like we're not only talking about immigrant and non-immigrant community, we still want to like share this idea that investing early is helpful to anybody. And like there is so much of that information these days, and some people just not looking for that. And once you explain that it's not as complicated, because for so many people, like average person believes that it's you need to have 20% down or like 40% down, and it's only for elite people because they not into that they not in this business, they don't face it every day, but we see those transactions every day. We talk to investors and we know how it works. And our goal as a real estate specialist or professional, just to share that information with them that it's doable for every job.
It's incredible what you guys do as leaders of EXP's Slavic network and creating that momentum and that visibility and education for agents abroad. Anybody who wants to learn not just how to serve these communities, but also how to invest and build wealth and how to tie that community into business outcomes. One EXP has 16 resource groups with the Slavic network. Can you tell me, why does this model work? What can the EXP Slavic network do that you couldn't do at a traditional brokerage?
EXP model is a business owner model. It is not an employee model. Number one biggest thing I would have to say. When I went to look and join EXP, for lack of a better word, and to sum it all up, I went to a place that put their 2 cents into my business the least amount possible and letting me do the most things that I wanted to do without them interfering. If that's not business ownership, I don't know what is. So that's huge. International collaboration, referral network with people speaking our own language, different language. Steve's in Colorado. He's in Carolina. I'm in Maryland. So we can, one, refer that business. And then also, like Alex said and Steve said, and previously, it's all about education, right? It's all about solving the problem, and it's all about being a referral source. Solving problems, attorneys, engineers, builders. When we do monthly calls with our group and we have different agents get on, I mean, we got people who speak 15 languages. We have people who have background nuclear engineers to physicists to and like anything under the sun with relation to real estate and not. So being able to plug into that network internationally is huge. Sharing business is huge, allowing us to be able to have no geographic bounds, like I said, internationally, and shared branding through our like Slavic network, and opportunity for us to be here today, being able to spread our word, spread our wings, so to speak. I mean, all those things wouldn't be possible without having one EXP and without having a business model that the ownership has built out from the founder to the current CEO.
How would you say the Slavic network is actually driving growth? Is it through referrals? Is it word of mouth? What are you guys doing to generate that growth? How can someone elevate their business by being part of this community?
Pretty straightforward. Just with all the additional education, the tool, the resources that not just us three or us four collectively can just pour into somebody, but the company that we built our companies within EXP now they are the only company right now that has actually been able to give us the abilities to pour into people like the way that no other company can. What I mean by that is very simple. If you're with the old models, which every one of us came from a brick and mortar or old franchise model, the reason why those companies can't and will never be able to give 100% attention to agents in the growth is very simple. They're franchises. So they're always trying to battle each other for agent counts. And they're not one cohesive unit at the corporate level they are, but not as individual offices. They're always battling each other. So the people that run those offices, they're not 100% focused on the agents. It's part of the business. It just is. That's why it was great back then and not great right now. That's just flat out 100% clarity, right? We're able to put a lot more time and energy and resources into our group, our people with 100% clarity because we're all in unison working as one total unit and we're kicking it right now. One of our agents, she's been in business for 22 years and she says, hey guys, you know what? I never cracked $1 million listing. I just never thought that that's what I could do because of who I was. And that was obviously her limiting belief. Transitioned her into getting involved with us, and within a year, she's crushed a seven-figure properties, and she even crushed a $12 million property in Vegas. That's where she's based in right now. And so it's just those things that it allows us certain things to be able to give so much more attention to our folks with 100% clarity on the vision driving forward. And there's nothing stopping us. We're true international in our ability to make decisions and help people out when we're building these things.
One EXP is led by agents for agents. One EXP, the heartbeat of culture that drives business outcomes, that can show people how you can turn connection into collaboration, from collaboration into more closings, how you can turn authenticity and storytelling into ultimately being your differentiator across the space, regardless of the markets that you serve. The power of One EXP is that we don't just slap one blanket culture across our company. Right? We have a multitude of different cultures and experiences and people. And people don't join companies because of all the crazy benefits that they offer. People join companies and brokerages because they're aligned with culture and increase in compensation. So if you can connect with someone and show them that, hey, you're going to roll with people that are going to support you, One EXP is going to give you the tools, systems, relationships, resources, and sponsors, not just to grow your business as an agent at EXP, but to grow as a leader across the real estate industry. And that's one of the incredible things, that there is not a single other brokerage or company in the world that does it at the scale that we do, with over 50,000 agents in our organization. There is so much synergy, intersectionality, collaboration, right? And so, like you said, it's a referral network for people to get connected, but it's also a space for agents to also connect on community and culture, for allies and advocates who maybe serve those communities, know how to navigate some of those different nuances and conversations. And like you guys had said, credit issues, fixed mindsets, generational like hand downs of like what the construct of what it should be. So I love that you guys touch on that. And that's the power of what you guys do at 1EXP and the culture that you guys help facilitate. Alex, I wanted to ask you because you are known for strong marketing and an active social media presence. How do you use digital platforms to reach the Slavic community, and what works differently for this audience versus a general market campaign?
Well, definitely education is one of the key things that people are looking actually in social media and connecting with them. And of course, you can hear the accent. Like, I'm a first generation immigrant, so I would never be able to get rid of it completely. Guys been here way longer than me, and they realize like right away. Most of my stuff is in English, but people still can hear. They can hear the accent, they relate, and they understand. It was one of the fears I had to face when I'm like, okay, should I be just creating my content in Russian, or should I go in English? Because again, it's my second language. I never went to high school, so it's something I had to face and just be fine on camera. It took some time, but with
Right.
every move that you're doing every day, every new video that you're taking, you're just getting better and better, more confident on camera.
It's repetition. Repetition every time. It's a
Yes.
muscle that you haven't used. And we talk about social media content strategy. Like when you're posting on social media, it should feel uncomfortable. You should
Oh, yes.
feel like you're pushing that needle forward because ultimately what we want to focus on is creating a connection on the other side of that phone, right? People consume content because it's invoking an emotion in them. It's making them laugh, it's relatable, or it triggers any kind of emotion, right? That's what spikes algorithm and engagement. So if you focus on working that muscle, pushing the needle forward, focusing on not the refinement of what you say or the curation, but focus on the impact of the person that's on the other side of that phone, and over repetition and time, I mean, that's where you find your excellence that comes from social media presence, right? So, Gene, I wanted to pass this one to you. We've talked about it. You've built a top producing team in Baltimore. How do you scale while still maintaining personal and cultural connection that makes our Slavic network so special?
A lot of help and delegation. Probably the biggest game changer for my business was my first hire, and she's still with me till this day, 5 years. And she helps me with this network as well as these guys. I mean, I can lean on them and ask them for whatever is needed, and they handle it. So it's really not doing everything by yourself, letting everybody help you, knowing that you are not the best at everything, which took me many years to learn. I'm actually really bad at most things. Luckily, I'm good at real estate, so that's okay.
If someone is interested, they love what you guys are doing with EXP Slavic Network, how can they get connected?
So we are on Instagram, Slavic Network. We're on Facebook. They can DM on all the platforms, Gene Drew. If you put my name in Google or AI, hopefully AI picks me up. But if you put me in Google, I'm in all the platforms. You can email me, gene@genedrew.com. And we're always happy to get new members and would love all the collaboration and all the members that we can get.
Love it. I love it. So I end each episode with this question. What is one piece of advice that you would leave to someone today who wants to take their business to the next level in 2026? They want to get more connected in your network, take their business to the next level. What's one piece of advice you would leave for them today?
You guys ready for this? This is a game changer. This is the same advice I give to people who ask me how I'm successful and people who ask me what they need to do in real estate to be successful. You ready? Show up. Just show up. Take initiative and show up. And being there is 80 to 90% of the battle. Most people don't show up, and when they don't show up, they're not ready. So show up to the community, come from contribution, and the community and the contribution is going to come right back at you.
Face your fears. Definitely the success is going to be on the other side of the river. Only by crossing the river that you're afraid of swimming, you will see the success.
I would say simplify. Make your life a lot more simple in terms of all different aspects because there's only so many hours in the day. So you have to be able to maximize those kind of things. And for us, it's easy to say, right? I mean, we've been doing this for a long, long time, but when you're first as a realtor, you have to gobble up everything you possibly can. And that was me too. I mean, I would drive 5 hours for a buyer because I need the money. I would do anything for the money, guys. Because I mean, at first we had to, but as you get more involved in your career, you can simplify the things that you know for a fact you like to do and you want to do. and then refer everything else out. You don't have to do everything. You can, guys, you can turn away business. That is what it means to simplify your life. Please contact all of us to help you guys out, because I don't care where you are in the country, where you are in the world, we want to help you out.
I love that, guys. That was awesome. Thank you so much for the conversation today. This has been an incredible episode. And like they said, regardless of the brokers that you're at, right? We want you part of our communities. If you've been looking for community and culture and you love what these leaders have shared today, please get connected with us. We would love to have a discovery call with you and to show you what opportunities that we have. We want to help you elevate yourself, elevate your business, elevate your relationships, elevate your life to the next level, and surround yourself with people that operate at that high frequency to allow you to seek that attainment and to be successful in your sector. So, guys, again, thank you so much for the conversation today, and I appreciate you all.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much for
Catherine.
having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.